Hi, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Amber. Today, we are talking about my November wrap-up. So, in November, I'll put my little story graph information here. I read 6 books with a total of 2,166 pages. Not too bad. And then let's see if I can already tell you I didn't. But for my monthly TBR, starting off, Legendary by Stephanie Garber, which is the second book in the Caraval series. Yes, I did in fact read that one. I gave that book 4.5 stars. Loved it. The character Scarlet from the first one does appear in this one. It's just she's not the female main character. We have somebody else that we're focusing on. I don't want to give too many details because this is the second book in the series. But just know, even with it following a different main character than the first one, I absolutely loved it. They're both pretty tied for me in which one I enjoyed more. I think this one it didn't feel as high stakes as the first one, which was a little disappointing, but I felt like I really enjoyed the characters in this one more. And it did leave off on kind of a cliffhanger that I'm really interested to see where that goes. Definitely has me wanting to pick up Finale very quickly, which I plan on doing this month. So, 4.5 stars. Next on the TBR was Finale by Stephanie Garber. As you can guess from what I just got done saying, no, I did not read this one. Do I wish I would have? Yes. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Next on the TBR was The Shadow in the Glass by J.J.A. Harwood. No, I did not read it. Again, I wish I would have. But I'm also not upset about the books that I did read this month. Next is For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. No, I also did not get to this. This is on this month's TBR again. Next is Iron Flame. Yes, I did read that one. That one got 4.75 stars. Which, honestly, I might bump it down to a 4.5. I don't really know. At that point, we're just getting tedious. Anyway, that one I really enjoyed the book. I still love Violet and Xaden. My biggest gripes on this, that the longer I think about it, the more it irritates me. And it makes me want to drop my rating, but I'm going to keep my rating for the time being. But my biggest gripes with this is I felt like the big, wow moments in this book were weird. Kind of random, if we're being honest. I felt like instead of it making sense on, one of the character choices, it was more of just, an attention grabber and just to be like, whoa, that's crazy, instead of actually having a bigger purpose in the plot. Which I feel like kind of takes away from the book. I don't know. That was, my biggest gripe is I think one of the biggest, wow moments in this book definitely could have been planned out way better to still give you that super shocked moment, but still made sense to the main plot of the story. And then also, I enjoyed the ending. It's not something that I fully expected, but I felt like the book kind of just seemed rushed. It definitely could have went through another round or two of editing. There were a lot of things in there that, one, just felt like filler, trying to make the book longer, or they were things that felt like an initial thought that just didn't go anywhere, but didn't get edited enough to realize, oh, I should take that part out. It just kind of felt like it was rushed to be published this year, which the impatient part of me is glad that it came out and I got to read it so quickly after Fourth Wing, but the patient side was maybe it could have waited a little bit longer. Anyway, the last book that was on my TBR was The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. No, I did not get to it. I'll get to it eventually, but I don't have plans to read this in December. So back onto the never-ending TBR shelf it goes. Alright, now on to the rest of the books that I did actually read. The next one was Evidence of the Affair by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one was a audiobook. It was what is that? I think a Prime, an Amazon Prime audiobook. It's very short. I believe that it's it's an hour and 19 minutes long. This one is in a letter format. This woman and man are writing back and forth, and their spouses have been having an affair with each other, and the wife ended up finding like her husband's mistress's letters and had been reading them, and then she started writing her husband, like the other woman's husband, about it, and then they like end up forming this friendship through it. And the ending is honestly extremely sad. I wouldn't say I liked it until the ending though, which was like the last 20 minutes. So the first like hour I was kind of bored. But yeah, I gave that a 4-star, like a flat 4-star. I would recommend it if you're looking for like a short one. It's free if you pay for Amazon Prime. The next one is The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. This is the first book in a series. This one is about Kaiva, who works at like the infamous Zalendov prison, and she is the prison healer. The rebel queen ends up getting sent to this prison, and she is in charge of like keeping her alive to get to the trial of the ordeals, which is like basically these 4 trials that the person has to pass, and if they do, then they get their freedom back. They don't end up having to be in the prison, but no one's ever beat these trials. They're next to impossible. And there is a subplot of romance in here. I really, really liked this book. I ended up giving this 4.5, but honestly I think I'd round this up to a 4.75 stars. I loved all the characters, and the plot twist at the end of this, I did not even remotely see coming. I thought I knew what was going to happen, and it just completely 360'd on me. Not even remotely what I thought was going to happen. My next 2, I ended up buying the last 2 in this series. They're coming tomorrow, and I'll probably start it immediately because I've been patiently waiting. Highly, highly, highly recommend. If you're looking for a new YA fantasy, pick this series up because it is so good. Next, I listened to Resting Scrooge Face by Megan Quinn on, I think that's Kindle Unlimited. Like, you can get the free audio book with the book itself. I gave this one a 4-star. I enjoyed it. It's, again, fairly short. Oh, it's an hour and 42 minutes. So this one is about a girl who, like, moves off to New York, and her fiance end up breaking up. She comes back home for the holidays and is fixing up a house and ends up running into like her ex-boyfriend that she kind of just like left. They left on bad terms. And so she comes back, she's fixing up this house. They're still not really getting along, and she ends up from the mailman getting a letter from somebody who is a Scrooge for the holidays, and she relates to that, so they start writing back and forth anonymously, and it ends up turning out that the person that she's been writing these letters to, it becomes very flirtatious. They start talking about meeting up, and it turns out to be none other than her ex. Also, none of this is a spoiler. That's all in the synopsis. But that was definitely a really fun little holiday romance. I really enjoyed it. 4 stars. Then, last but not least, is King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. I just finished this yesterday. I'm giving this a 4.25 stars. I really liked it. This is the first in the series, which I think the series name is like Adrian X Isolde. It's literally just the 2 main characters' names. Isolde is the princess to one of the 9 houses. So there's 9 houses, and then there's the like vampire area, which that is led by King Adrian, who is like the head vampire, and he is trying to conquer all of the 9 houses. He shows up on their doorstep, and her dad's like trying to come up with a treaty with him, and he says that he will accept the surrender if he gets to marry Isolde. And as her dad's going to say no, she agrees to it, and she absolutely hates the vampires. After they get married, she does end up trying to kill him, and he threatens that if she tries to kill him again, he will turn her into a vampire. So, with her being scared to become the exact thing that she hates, she tries to come up with other ways to basically defy him. And as she's trying to do this, she's also trying to deny the fact that they have a lot of chemistry, and she feels as if she's betraying her people by falling for him. This one, again, I really enjoyed it, and usually It's not really that much of a slow burn, which I typically like things to be a little bit slower than in this, but I also understand why it was written the way it was to go along with the plot. My only other gripe I had about this book is that, and I shouldn't even say it's a gripe, I ended up liking it in this book, which again, it's something I don't typically like, but you get a lot of hints as to what's going to happen, so there's no like shock factor at the end, there's no plot twist, it's just you're getting all of these little puzzle pieces as the story goes along, so you're able to put the pieces together yourself. And so by the end, you know what's going to happen. There's like one small plot twist, but it's not really like a huge thing, which I typically don't really care for that. I like there to be a little bit of like a, wasn't expecting that, but it actually worked for this. I really liked Scarlett St. Clair's writing, and I'm looking forward to continuing the series, because I loved Isolde as a main character. She's a very, very strong female lead character. Adrian was decent, not my favorite, but not bad. He says some funny things. They definitely have good banter, good chemistry. I enjoyed it. 4.25 stars. Again, if you're looking for something with vampires, witches, magic, enemies to lovers, there's a couple other tropes, but I don't want to say it because it would ruin the plot, so I'm going to leave it at those. I think that was the last one. So that is all I have for you guys. Let me know down in the comments if you have read any of these, which ones you liked, which ones you disliked, which ones you're looking forward to reading if you haven't read them yet. And I appreciate you guys. If you made it this far, please leave a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all my future videos. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!